we're here in the Jurassic room, and today, welcome to another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week, where all of you, the fans, get to pick what is showcased in each week's episode. And just like the 21 episodes before, we got some awesome suggestions that I can't wait to take a look at. So if you did not get picked in this week's episode, then make sure you let me know down in the comments below so that you could possibly be featured in next week's episode. But let's go ahead and check out the 10 that I picked for this week. To kick off this week's episode, we've got a pick here from Primal Verse for a rare toy set. This is the Jurassic World Epic Attack Final Clash set, which is really awesome. It depicts the end of the original Jurassic Park with the T-Rex and the Velociraptors, and they are pretty cool looking, as you can see. And the reason I said this was a rare set is because it never got a release here in the US, hence the Japanese writing that I have on the box here, because I did have to import it. But we get this cool T-Rex figure here and a pretty cool little Velociraptor as well. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our T-Rex and Velociraptor and their Epic Attack multiple activation areas. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to showcase the sounds on this one today because I do still have the pull tabs in them, as you can see, trying to keep the set a little bit more mince, but we can take a better look at the T-Rex and Velociraptor here, which are looking really, really awesome. And again, this is a very unique set and one that is pretty hard to get your hands on, especially as a US collector. So with that being said, I'm super happy to showcase it with all of you today. Now we've got another rare set suggested right here from Erwin Goji, and this is the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Battle Damage Lockwood Ultimate Battle Set, and this is another one that is extremely rare due to the fact that it never released here in the US. Now this set is a little bit basic. We get a repackage of the Battle Damage Velociraptor Blue, and this is the same sculpt as the superposable Indoraptor, but we get the Battle Damage piece right here, which is really sweet. And then the most unique part about the set is the Triceratops skull that we get that the Indoraptor fell on in Fallen Kingdom to its death at the end of the movie. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Velociraptor Blue, our Indoraptor, how to activate the battle damage, and the movie authentic posability, which is really, really awesome. But again, this is just a really special set here just because it depicts the end of Fallen Kingdom and because it's extremely rare. So with all that being said, I'm super happy to have this set here with me in my collection. Now, this next suggestion we have right here is from Jacob D for the Jurassic World Dominion Sound Slash and Therizinosaurus, and this was the first Therizinosaurus toy that we got from Mattel, which does make it a little special and awesome. We've got this cool looking sculpt here, a nice little paint job, and I just love seeing the feathering in on this figure. It's really, really cool. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our Therizinosaurus and its chomp and its slashing action. So we'll go ahead and check both of those. So you can get this thing moving by pressing this button right here, which is pretty cool. And then I think you can actually move it around a little bit like this too. Yeah, you can kind of get the body going a little bit, which is a little bit more difficult since it is still inside of the box. But this thing is really, really awesome and cool looking. The one gripe though I always had with this toy was how easily the sounds went off. Look at this. You barely touch this thing or shake it and the sound effects go off again. But other than that, this is a really cool toy to have in your collection. Now we've got a suggestion right here from Diego Lopez for the Jurassic World Primal Attack Massive Biters Siats Meekerorum, and this is a really cool and unique carnivore. It's got a fun sculpt here and some wild coloration, as all of you can see, and something I really like about it is these teeth that stick up and fit together right there. It looks really, really interesting in my opinion when you close its mouth. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Siats Meekerorum, or however you say it. it, and it's thrash and chomp action. So let's go ahead and check that out. So first, you can get it chomping by clicking here, and then you can spin it around to get it thrashing as well, which is really cool. So you can kind of do them together to get a lot of playability out of this figure, which is awesome. But again, this is another really unique species that Mattel gave us here, so it always makes it fun to add these crazy species like this to your collection. So this was another fun one to showcase for all of you. Now, this next pick that we have right here is from Bob the Mushroom for the Jurassic Park 3 Camo Extreme Canyon Tyrannosaurus Rex. And this is a rare and really cool figure. It's obviously got this really cool coloration like all the Camo Extreme dinosaurs do. I love this gray, black, and orangish color. I think it looks really, really sweet on this figure. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Canyon T-Rex and advertisements for some of the other Camo Extreme toys from the Jurassic Park 3 line, which is pretty cool. But again, looking at this figure, it would normally have sound effects when you would pull this back and get it roaring. But unfortunately, since this is an over 20-year-old toy, the sound effects are not going to work anymore. But I'm sure all of you can imagine how awesome it was when this thing actually had working sounds. But again, this is another really cool figure from a super cool toy line like Camo Extreme. So I'm happy that we took a look at it in today's episode. Now we have a suggestion right here from Tokens for the Jurassic World Dominion Ferocious Pack Rugops Primus. And this is another interesting little creature. I like the sculpt here. It's very unique, and it's almost got like some feathering on it too, like Mattel has done with a lot of their dinosaurs, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's how it actually looks, but I guess they're trying to be slightly more scientifically accurate, which I think will tickle some people's fancies. Now, when we look at the back of the box, there's really nothing special to see here. We get an advertisement for some of the other dinosaurs in this assortment. But again, looking at our Rugops Primus, this is a cool little figure. There's not too much to say about it other than its nice little sculpt and its feathering. But again, I love it anytime Mattel does these crazy off-the-wall species that I've never heard of. So it again makes it very fun for me to have this here in my collection. Now, this suggestion right here is from the Arab T-Rex for the Jurassic Park 93 Classic Electronic Real Feel Tyrannosaurus Rex. And in my opinion, guys, this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite Mattel T-Rex they ever released, because they paid homage to the old Kenner Red Rex. I just love this thing. The sculpting on it's awesome. I love how it can open up and swallow dinosaurs that come out of its stomach. And more than anything, I love the real feel skin. Look at that soft rubber. That is just so amazing. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our real feel T-Rex and how it can roar, chomp, and reveal the dinosaurs that it swallows. So why don't we go ahead and check out those sound effects? Super awesome. And again, this is one of my favorite T-Rexes, if not my favorite, that Mattel has ever released. So I'm super happy to showcase it today. Now we've got another suggestion right here from Alex Detweiler for the Hammond Collection geosternbergia from the Lost World Jurassic Park. And this is our first Hammond Collection pick of the day. And this figure does look really awesome. I love these bright colorations here. That blue and yellow really make this creature pop. And of course, I love that sculpt of this awesome geosternbergia. There's another pretty good look at the figure. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get a much better look at what our Hammond Collection geosternbergia looks like. And I really love how it has the bendy wings so that you can kind of pose them in any way that you want. And you can make your geosternbergia look like it is actually flying. But again, this is another really fun species here that I really like the sculpt on, and I love the coloration. And then of course it is Hammond Collection, so that articulation on the figure is of course top notch. So this is a very fun figure and one that's not really hard to get into your collection, even though it's out of stores now. So I would recommend adding it to your collection, not just because it's awesome, but because it definitely won't break your bank. Now, this next suggestion we have right here is from Ona J for the Jurassic World Dominion extreme damage Tyrannosaurus Rex, or actually he asked for any Jurassic World Dominion Tyrannosaurus Rex, so I went ahead and chose this one because it's a fun little figure. I've always liked this sculpt that they've used of the extreme Chompin T-Rex, even though they've retooled it a few times like they did here, but this paint job that they did on it this time looks really, really cool, so I'm really digging this figure. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our T-Rex and its double-sided damage, so let's go ahead and check that out. We got a button on the back here that exposes its damage, which is pretty cool. Nothing too crazy about that feature, but it is fun, and again shows the damage, hence the name extreme damage. But again, this is a fun T-Rex figure here, nothing too crazy about it, but one that is nice to have in the collection. And again, I really do like this sculpt that they gave for this T-Rex, so I'm never really complaining that they gave us a bunch of them, including this one. Now, the final suggestion we have for today's episode is from Abigail for the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I see that you've been asking for 6 weeks, so I definitely wanted to get you featured in this week's episode. But this T-Rex, of course, is looking awesome, and a lot of people will say that this is possibly the greatest Jurassic T-Rex toy ever made. And then again, look at that awesome T-Rex on the side of the box. Now, when we look at the back, we get another good look at our T-Rex here, which is looking super, super sweet. Again, the Hammond Collection is known for being top-notch figures for Mattel, and the T-Rex is probably the most iconic dinosaur of all time. So you put those together and you know you're gonna have an awesome toy right in front of you, and this is exactly what happened. But this Hammond Collection T-Rex is again such a sweet figure, and one that every Jurassic collector really should have in their collections. If not, it'll feel like a big hole, because this is just such a sweet toy, and I'm super happy that I have mine and actually a couple extras of them in my collection. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week. Once again, if you did not get featured in this week's episode and would like a chance to be featured in next week's episode, then make sure you leave your suggestion down in the comments below. Want to see more awesome Jurassic content? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any of my content. Also, check me out on Instagram and join my Discord server for so much more Jurassic fun. The links to everything will be in the description below. Check out more awesome Jurassic videos here.